So welcome back to Phil Marriott on YouTube. Raj is here for Boys on Film.
Hey Phil.
And we're continuing our countdown of the top movies of 2019. If you haven't checked out the first part, numbers 10 to 6, then check the link above because you'll find the video there. So we're going to continue with number 5.
Number 5 was a film we talked about in the last video, but my number 5 was Midsommar. I love the horror aspect and, you know, it being all super bright colors and very nerve-wracking, and it's on my queue to watch again.
That's a really good point. I didn't mention that when I was talking about it because there's something quite horrific about horror in the daylight.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect that.
Memorable.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it worked for that reason because I think a lot of other directors wouldn't have been able to put that horror across with bright lights and colour. And I think he did a brilliant job, Ari Aster.
Absolutely.
For me, another horror is Us, Jordan Peele's follow-up to Get Out, which of course was a massive success, a real game changer for horror too. And I really like Jordan Peele's vision. I don't know, I think he just gets the right actors as well. He's got a great cast in this.
Definitely. I mean, he's on the rise, and I got to see the premiere of this at South by Southwest, and it was a great experience. For some reason though, it didn't stick with me when coming into my top 10 list. I really enjoyed it, but I'm not really rushing out to see it again. But I'm excited for what he does next.
Yeah, we're doing Candyman, isn't he, at the moment? He's rebooting that from the 90s. And we just watched the original just the other night, and it's such a great film.
My number 4 pick of the film is Joker.
I still haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it. Is it really dark?
It's gritty.
Yeah.
It's not what you think as well. So I know a lot of people might be expecting a Batman comic book movie, but it's not. All you need to know is it's the story of probably the first Joker, because there are many Jokers in the DC universe. But yeah, it is very Oscar worthy. Like, it's totally changed the game for comic book movies. It hits you pretty hard in the stomach. So
isn't it the same director as The Hangover?
Yeah, Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
So, it's not a comedy by any means, but it kind of even borderlines on horror a little bit. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so epic what they've done with it.
And it touches on his mental state as well.
And it has a lot to do with, mental health and the current, climate that we live in right now. It's a gut punch. I wasn't expecting to be so moved by a comic book movie. Because it's super cinematic and it's just glorious. You need to see it though.
I'm a massive fan of Joaquin Phoenix anyway.
Yeah.
One of my favourite vegans, incidentally. I just thought I'd get that
amazing.
in there. The year of the vegan.
If he doesn't get nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars this year, I will throw something up.
Yeah. And talking of great actors, Jessie Buckley, one of my favourite female actors. Number 4, Wild Rose.
Yes.
Which I saw at the cinema on the big screen, and I just loved every second of it. It kind of felt a little bit like Billy Elliot, which I also liked, not as much as this though. But Jessie Buckley obviously plays a character who is an ex-criminal. She just comes out of prison, and she dreams of being a country music star. And country music is not really my thing either, but obviously it features quite heavily in this film. Whispering Bob Harris also plays a cameo from Radio 2. Julie Walters plays a mother.
Wow.
Another favourite of mine, so what's not to love?
It's been on my list for a while. It's on my Plex. It is. I've had the chance to watch it on the airplane.
It's really good. I think you'll like it, actually.
I know I will. If I could only watch all the movies that
I know, Just not enough time, is there?
My number 3 is a film that Phil mentioned in the last video. It's The Peanut Butter Falcon. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Booksmart.
Is it?
That you mentioned in the previous video.
So we should have probably combined our lists, but it's fine. If it made both of our lists, then it's probably a good film.
We're just repeating ourselves, aren't we?
My number 2 is another Shia LaBeouf film. It's Honey Boy, which I saw at London Film Festival this year as well. It just left the theaters not too long ago, but it is a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's really loosely the life story of Shia LaBeouf told in his unique vision. So I just really enjoyed this film top to bottom. I can't recommend it enough. I can't wait to see if it gets some Oscar buzz this year as well.
One for my list. One for me
list.
to watch. So my number 2 is Pain and Glory, Pedro Almodovar.
Oh, yes.
I never know how to pronounce his surname because other people do say it differently.
I say it Pedro Almodovar. star.
There we go. That's probably the right way of saying
That's the way Madonna says it.
Yeah. So it's Antonio Banderas, who I thought was just phenomenal. Probably one of his best roles, in my opinion. I've seen him in a lot of films, and I just think he came across as just a real person on screen. And it's kind of semi-autobiographical as well, because it's Almodovar's almost like his story, isn't it? It's his own story.
Autobiographical films in it are
I thought it was great, and you saw that with me as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a great story. I mean, I just love anything that Pedro Almodovar does. I mean, this would probably be in my top 20, not my top 10.
Right.
Definitely a good honourable mention from my side.
A lot of his later films have felt quite Hitchcockian as well in style, so it kind of has that almost like a menace, like a brooding menace, but it's never really. It's not so much a horror, because they're not horror films, but he has that kind of tension in his films, in his later films.
Definitely some tension, yeah.
And it had an amazing finale as well. I thought it was a really clever ending to this film. I can't say what that is, because that would be a spoiler, but if you've seen it, you'll understand what I mean.
Definitely. Yeah. I think I'm going to surprise a lot of people with this one. I tend to surprise a lot of people with my list, but my number one film is another film I saw at BFI London Film Festival this year. It's called And Then We Danced. I had no intention of loving this film so much. It was one of those films where I waited in the rush queue because I had some time to kill to try to get, in to see a screening. Got a ticket when it was raining outside, rushed in to see the movie, and it's just beautiful. It's a kind of a gay love story, kind of a little bit like Call Me By Your Name, but it's set in the world of Georgian dance, traditional dancing. Wow. So this film caused a lot of controversy in Georgia because it feels like Georgia is still somewhat homophobic.
Yeah.
And so there's been protests at the screenings that it's been on in Georgia. But yeah, for any other like metropolitan city that's screened the film, and I think anyone, especially boys on film lovers, would appreciate this. So I don't even think it's out on demand yet, but just look for it when it starts to
tick in the boxes.
Yeah.
So my number one is Rocketman.
Okay.
And I have to admit, I wasn't really that excited about seeing the film because I've never really been a massive fan of Elton John.
Yeah.
I've respected Elton John. I think he's an amazing artist. It's not necessarily somebody that I would want to listen to all the time. I like occasional songs. But I thought this film was absolutely superb. It's not in your top 10 at all, is it?
No, I did consider it because I enjoyed the film. I think I have the same opinion that you do, that I respect Elton John, but I'm not really that big of a fan. But it was a good film. Maybe my top 20. But,
I think it's really difficult to get musicals done right on screen, on the big screen, because I think they can come across as a bit cloying. But this, I thought, there was something about the timing of it. It just really packed a punch. Some of the scenes, especially when he's on the piano and the camera's spinning round and you just see him. It's almost like a whirlwind. It's amazing. The visual effects were really great as well. Yeah,
it kind of was a music video movie to me in some aspects, which I think I didn't appreciate as much as you did. I think for me, I just keep comparing it to Bohemian Rhapsody, and for me, Bohemian Rhapsody just wins. So.
Oh, okay. See, I'm the other way around. I liked Bohemian Rhapsody, but I think this was a bit more of a clever film.
Oh, I love Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a Queen fan.
Yeah.
It was the main actor, Taron Egerton.
Taron Egerton, yeah.
He was fantastic.
He was brilliant.
So I hope he gets nominated for Best Actor this year too, because I think in terms of acting and performance, like, he was amazing.
Yeah. So there we go.
That's our
top 10 in full of the movies of 2019. Are any of your favourites in there? If they are, let us know in the comments below. We are back soon. We're actually going to be doing a lot more this year than we did at the tail end of last year, because it has, for many reasons, gone a bit crazy in 2019, but 2020 is looking pretty good.
We're here, we're Boys on Film, and we're reviewing films.
We are. So make sure you subscribe and like this video if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.